the upper right corner, I believe. So mute yourselves as we go through this, but we want to hear from you. So when you're ready to ask a question or to give a comment, then just unmute yourself and then let's discuss it. And then from that point, just be sure to mute yourself back again when you're ready to go back. So anyways, we'll get started. Also, as Carrie said, if you don't want to speak, then go ahead and type your questions or comments in the chat, and Carrie or somebody will, I'm sure, bring that up, and we'll be able to talk about it. So today's topic, of course, as I said, about Christmas, garden gift. We're talking about garden gift, what is working well for you, and so this is kind of a tough topic for for me to get started with, because we don't do a big Christmas thing around here. Our store just isn't set for it, and so we're hoping that at some point we'll get back into it. So I'm probably going to do a lot of listening, and I'm going to want to hear from a lot of other people what you guys do. So if you've got some things you want to share, then let's go ahead and open it up for you to talk about. And if you can, I am.
He is frozen.
Share, and guess what, everybody? Our power just went off. They're working on the power lines down the road from us. So thankfully I'm on my iPhone, but anyway, so I can get out and I can show a little bit of my store. There's just a little bit going on there, but anyway, so feel free to get out on your if you've got a mobile device and show us what some of the things are that you're looking at. All right, so I'm going to head back to the office. I'm going to shut up for a little bit and let somebody else talk. Anybody wants to share? Anybody selling garden gift related items for Christmas? You want to tell us what your secret is? One thing I think that's going to be really big this year, and I think it's going to be great for everyone to promote, is houseplants, because houseplants are a big craze right now, and so we're seeing just a huge amount of houseplant business. Our houseplant sales are up over 50% for this year over last year, and last year was up, I don't remember how many percent from the year before. So it's all going crazy right now. Anybody bringing any special house plants or anything like that you want to share with us?
So Tim, this is Kathy at Scott Valley Feed.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. Yes, houseplants have increased like crazy. You know, I brought in those macrames from BIA. That was a vendor there for a while, and those things went out in about 3 weeks. The whole 450 order.
Wow.
Yeah, and I guess they're not a vendor anymore, but yeah, so that might be a really good thing to add to your indoor plants. So
yeah, we did really well with macrame hangers as well, and we just have a few left over from our big order. But yeah, macrame hangers, who would have thought?
I know, it's like everyone goes, oh, it's back to the 60s. And I'm going, yeah. But yeah, we have someone who collects driftwood and wood on her walks and polishes it up and adds a few little plants to it, and that's been a really nice gifty thing going out. So
excellent.
Yeah, but that's all we have going on, I guess. Except, who are you getting your indoor plants from?
Oh goodness. So there's I'm trying to think, Fesslers and Sunborn, and I just picked up some really cool plants from Little Prince. Just some 4-inch, but they had the Albuca Frizzle Sizzle, and the little variegated creeping ficus, and a couple of other things. Oh, a little heart fern. First time I'd ever seen that one. It was pretty cool. But anyway, just a few little things like that from Little Prince. Um, uh, Anyways, I think Matsuda's is selling houseplants now. I don't know if Matsuda's comes all the way up, all the way through into all of our areas, but their quality is a little, but you clean them up a little bit, and their pricing's pretty good. So
Hey, yeah, I want to mention too, when you said about Little Prince as an NBA vendor, I think I sent an email out to everyone that Valley Brook up here in Canada have just got into houseplants as well. So if you buy from Valley Brook, I know it's a drive down to you, Tim, so I'm not sure if they go that far, but they are now stocking houseplants. They're getting in
yeah,
trucks, so that's another possibility.
I know Mainland Floral is an NBA vendor as well,
Hmm.
but the last couple of times I've seen their list, they were pretty much out of everything. So that I think that's a great problem for them to have. I'm glad they're doing well and selling out of their product, but definitely it shows that this is not a category to be pushing off. Something that everybody should be taking advantage of at some point or other. Um, on our talk with Sid, I'd mentioned to him, he had mentioned, I guess, that when you do something, you want to blow it up, you want to make it big, and that's something I think that we have. We let our houseplant section kind of dwindle down through the springtime because we were so busy with everything else, and we're now trying to build it back up again. But I think it's important with houseplants to have an expert, so that you have somebody there who is always on staff, who can answer those questions and stuff for people, because they can go and buy a Dracaena anywhere, but why are they going to come to us? It's because we have the knowledge and the ability to help them with those houseplants. And I know, like, for Christmas, we've got Christmas cactus and poinsettias, and I know there's a lot of other things. Does anybody have anything that they sell for houseplants for Christmas time that's more seasonal?
Hey, Tim, I do have a couple questions. Now, I'm skipping Mike for a minute. Mike, I'll be back to you. But Lynn from Bellevue doesn't have a mic, and she says that we may have to cut back on poinsettias this year since we typically bring them into our houseplant room with a full greenhouse and social distancing. We will have to do some creative space planning. So that's kind of interesting that people are deciding houseplants over poinsettias.
Yeah, well, it seems like the poinsettias are forgive the term, bastardized in the industry right now. When you see these gigantic ones at Costco and at Lowe's and Walmart and everything, and they're just cheap as can be. So it seems like poinsettias are really kind of becoming overdone, and so that's why I'm curious, what other people are doing. I remember one year, it was close to Christmas, and I was up north, and I think I was traveling through Owls, and they had some really interesting hydrangeas with little white star-shaped flowers. I don't remember the variety now, but they were more of an indoor thing. I don't recall now, but they were beautiful, and they would just look great by the poinsettias and stuff.
Hey, Lindsay. I don't think we can hear you, Lindsay. You have to unmute unless you didn't want to talk. Oh, there's Margaret. Okay.
Who are your sources for houseplant pottery?
So we're using Border Concepts. I don't know if you got a chance to go through the Border Concepts showroom, but on the NMBA trade show, what a phenomenal job they did. Oh my goodness, it was just incredible going through that. It was really awesome. But we find that they've got some great pottery, good prices. You can buy small amounts. So we're pretty small, so we're only buying a few cases at a time, and so it's really good for us to be able to do that through Border Concepts. But I know that some of our other pottery vendors are now stocking a lot of house plant pottery as well. So, like I think Pottery Land, or I think that's the name of that one. They had some really nice stuff, and a couple of others too.
We buy from Border Concepts and Lotus and sometimes Chive and of course Washington Pottery and a lot of local people we've bought from for years. I was hoping somebody found a new source for some unusual pots that we could add to our mix so we could have more in stock and a little more variety. Anyone else?
Have you ever thought about looking into local artists, maybe potters, and carrying maybe some local stuff?
There is a company that is local, but they're really more rustic-y looking kind of pottery, and so, well, there probably is other artists that we could look at as well. So that's a good idea. Be good to do that before Christmas.
Yeah.
Local.
Some of the small local guys also may consign their product to you too. That might be nice to be able to carry a good local source and handmade local pottery and from local artisans. Sometimes if you look into like pottery clubs and stuff in the area, you might be able to find some sources through them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Speaking of, as John and I are artists, and we do photography, and this year with the COVID, no one is doing shows. So all these different artists out there that are doing handmade stuff or gifts or whatever are looking for places to sell their stuff. And most of them are doing it on consignment. So, when you're talking about local gifts and stuff for Christmas, definitely reach out to your local, like as Tim says, a Potter's Club, you got photography clubs, you have Tim belongs to a woodworkers, wood turning club, right?
Yeah.
They're out there, and trust me, they are all looking to, they usually do 20 shows a year and they've done none. So they really are looking, and it would be kind of nice to start seeing local stuff and places to sell. Does anyone, as I'd like to open that up, if anyone wants to unmute, is anyone carrying anything local and how they're handling it?
Well, the only thing that we're carrying that's local is honey. And so that's been one of our best gift lines, so to speak, as far as traffic and moving the product on a consistent basis. But the one thing I can go back to what Tim was talking about was having, we've gotten away from ornaments and trees after last year. It drove us crazy. We'll probably end up with one tree or maybe two and some gnomes, and we're good to go. And then we have really stocked up on our garden giftware. We've got a lot of different product out there because we actually sold all of it during the spring and the summer, which was pretty amazing. We thought maybe with the change, they would not buy that. They would only buy, vegetables and fertilizers, but the the garden gift just blew out, which was awesome to see because it wasn't a worry or anything. But I'm tired of putting away Christmas ornaments. I want to sell stuff that moves, and I just don't care about looking like a Christmas store. Our poinsettias, I kind of feel like that's not gonna be a bad thing this year. I feel like they're gonna want to decorate, so So all of that, we're going to do a couple of Zoom meetings for customers so that they can learn how to make evergreen baskets out of their hanging baskets that they had in the summer. We put that on our website. So save those ugly baskets with the soil in them, and we'll show you how to make them beautiful this year. I.e.
Yeah.
the cut greenery, the holly, the red bows, you name it, pine cones. So I'm all for doing garden giftware. Yes, if you want to get a hold of me, I'll show you what we're doing. I'm not going to walk the store, but anyway, not like Tim. So there you go. That's me.
All right. Hey, Tim, I don't want to miss this question. Mike wants to know, is anyone concerned about the logistics of Christmas tree delivery this year? Anyone want to share? Anyone worried?
Hey, Carrie,
That's a,
it's Denise with Ritters. As far as like the Christmas tree delivery, are you talking about cut Christmas tree or potted Christmas trees? Because we are out of the cut Christmas tree business. We're only potted trees, which absolutely do some a great thing for us. But the cut trees, we just, for whatever reason, we quit doing that probably 5 years ago now, just because the weather wasn't conducive up here for them. It was like really super cold when we were unloading the trucks, and they would be dead before, I don't know, the very beginning of December. So we just went to the potted trees, and they do great. And as far as poinsettias go, we used to grow our own poinsettias, but we chose not to do that, and we grew absolutely beautiful poinsettias, but people just for whatever reason think poinsettias are like Tim said, basically a redheaded stepchild. So we don't do as many, but we do have fundraisers that people come back every year and we sell them. You know, if we do a fundraiser price for the poinsettias. And I didn't think, this year we would have anybody doing that, but it actually, I've got there's probably like 4 or 5 people or 4 or 5 companies that are still going to continue to do that, which is a good thing. And then also we do the Christmas cactus, and Christmas cactus for us basically outsell the poinsettias. So I don't know if people are doing that, but that's kind of like a good thing that we've done. And our Christmas for us, we are now setting it up. We just finished with the NMBA or the L&L thing. And so yesterday we started. So I didn't really walk our store. You would die if you saw our store right now. But we are starting. We're not doing as many trees this year. We are cutting it back to probably 8 trees, but they're all themed trees. And I think we will have a good Christmas. We are not doing, typically our garden center and gift store are set up, just in like this magical land. It will be again this year, but it'll be on a smaller scale. The only things that we are changing this year are that we are not having the live reindeer. We typically have the reindeer from the week of Thanksgiving until Christmas Eve morning they leave, and then Santa every weekend, and we are not doing that this year. So that's kind of sad, but that's kind of the way we're gonna do it. And we've already told people that we're not doing it, so then that way they're not disappointed or mad at us, but I don't think they'll really be too mad. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on with us, and we can show you some pictures when we do set it up and we are all done, and I would like to share a picture so you guys could see what we do. But our garden center is, we're a good sized garden center for Spokane. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Hey, Denise, are you still heavy into the candy in the gift shop?
No, Carrie, we made a decision the end of last year that we do not have any candy anymore. We took that out. It was just not really what we thought it would be. And we put, Bill's truck is still in there. That's like that 41 Ford, that's still in there. But all of that now is all plants and pottery. And we just get from different vendors. I know that pretty much, you know, the same vendors. There's a few, and we are trying to get some local people that we use. But the pottery, you know, the macrames, we do all of that in there now. And we also, with COVID, we did close our floral department. And that was a huge thing for us. We've contemplated that for 12 years, and we finally made the decision in July. So we did that. And so we have to do something with that area. But I think what we're going to probably do is we're going to ship out plant orders. We're going to start doing that probably by the end of this month.
Okay. Good.
Excellent. Excellent. One thing that I think is important to for everybody to keep in mind, and that is that families, even though there is this COVID outbreak, families are still going to be looking for places to do things with their families, their kids, etc. And so, you know, I think, you know, as we see that everybody is, and you know, this is everybody in every industry. You know, we are all looking at wanting to cancel these things and etc. I think that where it can be really beneficial is if we can look at other options for allowing people in to do things, and perhaps maybe some for some of the larger nurseries, some bigger displays, well spaced out into the nursery, will give options for people to come and take photos, you know, with a nice background of evergreens and etc. So we've set up a nice display, and I'll show that. It's not quite done yet. I'll show that maybe next time. But we set up a nice display. It's a long display. And so there's options in about 4 different areas for people to gather their families together and take some photos. And you know, right now it's still more fallish, but pretty soon it will be easily able to move into some wintry and Christmassy themes. We'll be able to maybe take some silk color or something like that and put out there with it. I don't know yet, but anyway, that's what we're looking at for us, is giving people some opportunities where they can be outside with their families, have a photo op, and hopefully they'll buy something while they're here.
Yeah. We do have a question from Lynn. She says, no holiday edibles this year. Also reducing number of display decorated trees due to space requirements. We do limit delivery, but thinking about eliminating in-home setups. Any thoughts? So does anyone do in-home setups of Christmas trees, and are you thinking about doing or not doing this year? I didn't know there was people there to set your own trees up. So.
Chuck, are you there? I see that he's supposedly there. But anyhow, we have done the delivery and set up in your house thing forever. And we're definitely considering just leaving them at the front door this year for the safety of our employees, but also for safety of our customers. It's either that or we have to get hazmat suits for our delivery drivers, and I don't know which is worse. So, but it would be nice not to have to, you know, do all the services that we do. But the older customers, I worry about them not being able to handle the tree once we get it to their door. So the other thing is we're not ordering as large, you know, not doing any 12-foot trees this year. So we're kind of focused on more easier to handle sizes for our customers and our employees. Anyone else?
Well, there's someone on the phone thingy that's trying to speak, but we can't hear you. No, no one else? Okay.
Well, there's some great some great discussion here, and I would like it if anybody else out there has some comments or stuff or anything and wants to say something, even if it's off topic. Let's go ahead and hear from anybody who hasn't had a chance to talk. Come on, don't be shy.
Back to the macrame. Where do you guys get those? The macrame plant hangers. Is that North American Crafters?
Yes, yes, Baya. Baya is the name of the lady. It's North American Crafters.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, they were an NBA vendor for a short time, and after 2 months, they didn't feel they were getting the business they wanted for NBA members, and they dropped us. So,
not much of a run there.
no.
I think all they wanted was our email list, and as soon as they got that, they dumped us. So I guess
there should be a 1 year minimum. If you join, you've got to offer that for a year. You got to be a member for a year or a vendor for a year.
I really wanted to tell the guy that, but he was calling me weekly and complaining about not having any sales, and we were doing a horrible job. And he just finally got to the point where I said, "Do you really want to belong?" And he's like, "I'd like to get out." And I said, "Okay, that would be great." So I was just really happy that he was just gone, because he was such a pain in the ass. It was unbelievable. I've never dealt with anybody like it. I mean, we got 124 vendors, and I do fine with all of them. This guy was just like, I don't know what he wanted. He expected like $1 million in sales instantly, and I don't know. He was strange.
Yeah.
So, anyone else want to share anything about local made stuff they're carrying, being food, being art? Something that, maybe going forward, that it's not just for Christmas, that you maybe think a big good opportunity to get in the door now than and sell in the spring? It looks like Alexa unmuted. Do you have any comments, Alexa?
Yeah, Carrie. Sure. I'll share what we have at our nursery. We do some local. This is Brown's Garden Center. We're in Northern Washington. We do some local art, not just for Christmas, but year round. We try to support the local artists. Mostly we find them through employees or through the community Facebook groups or whatnot. Right now we have some local stained glass art, like garden stakes with little hummingbirds, flowers, bees, veggies on them. She does some sort of window hanging things for the holidays also, which is cute. And then we do local cards, which is fun. We don't do greeting cards in general, but we have just one line of a local artist that paints flowers. And we don't do any consignment for it. We just buy it straight out and create a SKU and give her a call when we want more. The cool part about working with local artists too, I find, is we can make requests. So I always think that's neat, say, hey, do you do this? Or would you be interested in doing a, Monstera leaf hanging glass thing or whatever. So that's kind of fun.
Nice.
Excellent.
I have something from Peter. Says handmade Le Conner soaps, cleaning products, moisturizers made in Le Conner. Really nice merchandise. Handcrafted garden scrubs sells really well. Smells great. So everything I'm reading is in the chat if anyone wants to go look at that. So yeah, you know, that is true. There are lots of local artists that do soaps and stuff, which I know Jenny up here at My Garden Nursery near us, she carries a nice line of soap. I'm not sure if it's local. I think maybe she did have one line, and it's really nice. And again, it is true that you can request, and they usually you can, you know, maybe tweak something for your own garden center for that. So
I think one of the big takeaways from this year is that with everything that has been going on, our customers have been wanting to support local businesses, and so I think it's really important, a really important part of us as local businesses to stress that, and you know, that we are local, and show that by supporting our local artists and things around as well, and giving them opportunities for their goods, maybe perhaps in our stores. So I just think it's a really good idea for Christmas, for spring even, you know, to be able to do that.
mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Anyone else like to share? This is our first roundtable, so I know it's going to kind of get used to people, you know, sharing and and trying to speak up. But we love your voice. We can't see your picture, but we love your voice, so we love to hear it. Love to hear it.
We'd love to see your picture too, but
Well,
you know, if you don't want to, that's okay too. We're all right with that. So there's, you know, so a lot of people know that I do radio, TV, talk show, and so I'm pretty comfortable in front of a camera. I may not look great in front of a camera, but I'm pretty comfortable being in front of a camera. But I understand also that that's a tough one for a lot of people. So so you can always turn off your video so you're not showing your video of yourself, or perhaps you are at home in your easy chair kicking back and you don't want everybody to know that. That's okay. We've got you covered. You can turn your video off and chat, and again, you can always type in your questions or comments in the chat, but it's really great. You know, generally we get to meet 2 to 3 times a year and visit and talk and discuss things. And I think this is a great way of being able to stay in communication with each other. Even if you're just listening, we'll even let you listen. But it's great to see the participation, and we definitely want to encourage everybody to put it on your calendars to take part in these roundtables as we continue to go through them. We're going to have some fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We want to keep it really casual and just really you know, talk about things that are pertinent to you. So even if it's off topic, we're okay to talk about it. We want to know what's going on with you.
We do have a couple questions, Tim. One from Wenzel Nursery, and they're in Walla Walla. They want to know, do most of the nurseries that carry gifty items have large indoor spaces? We have outdoor area, but no indoor. Tim, you have a smaller area inside, and you have outdoor area.
We do. So we have a very small store. So I think our entire store, the entire building is 3,000 square feet. So that includes office space, bathroom space, storage space, everything. So probably 2/3 of that is product placement. And so it's a very, very small area. And so we don't have a lot of room, so we don't carry a lot of that kind of thing. However, you know, we do like to, during the times that we can, we do like to display some of it into the greenhouses and outside. recognizing that it's probably going to get beat up a little bit. So, you know, if we're buying a case of 6 of something, we can put one of them out and show what it looks like in the garden. And then we'll have 5 that we can actually sell. That 6th one will end up either being discounted, or if we're really lucky and they sell fast enough, we might get full price for it. But just to have to plan for that. So when we're buying again a case of 6, maybe they're wind spinners, we're putting that one out there. We know we're going to have to discount it, so we might add a little extra to the price of the of them so that we can afford to do that. So keep that in mind. If you want to display outside, the important part is that you make a margin on it, that you make money on it. Otherwise, not worth having. But there's a lot of great garden-related gift items that are made for outside, and it's not a bad thing to do. Is Stone Age Products, they're still an NMBA member, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Stone Age Products has some fantastic stoneware that's really nice. Some of their stuff's very high-end, but it's beautiful material, and it does sell. So it's something to look at for outside giftware.
Good idea. So another question is, and if anyone can speak up and answer, someone wants to know, what is the best way to present the idea of expanding merchandise to gift if the owner of the company is less than enthusiastic about selling anything other than plants? Same question about regarding seasonal items such as Christmas trees, etc.
Well, I have one answer for that, you know, I grew up, you know, my dad started this business when I was in college, but I started working in the industry when I was 13 years old. So I kind of grew up in all of this. And my dad was a plant geek, a plant nerd, whatever you want to call him. You know, he loves plants. And so getting him to move into other areas was a little bit difficult for me. But one of the things that I did was I showed him displays, and this is a great thing. So if you've got displays of, you know, of giftware stuff that's fantastic, share them with us so that we can share them with our bosses, and let them see what that looks like, and show that these kinds of things help sell plants. So I might be able to throw some pottery out somewhere, and the pots may not sell, but the plants around them will. And so the pots help sell the plants help sell the pots. And I think it's a similar kind of a thing when it comes to giftware, that it's the plants help sell it. The people are there to buy the plants, and they pick up this other stuff as they are there, or while they're there. And it doesn't work for everybody. I have to say, we tried bird. About every 5 years, we try bird again, and it never works for us. We can't sell bird seed or bird feeders or anything. We've tried high end, low end, everything. We've done tons and tons of stuff, and every time we end up just discounting it all and getting rid of it. So in some cases, you just have to figure out that it just doesn't fit for my store.
Great. Anyone else?
So for us, oh, you go ahead.
Go ahead, Denise.
You go ahead. Okay, so for us, what we do is a little bit of like, we start small, and then we start like then, you know, just growing on that, and it does really well for us. Like fall doesn't do very well for us, so we just kind of, instead of doing the gift, we do like, we'll do pumpkins, corn stalks, mums, pansies, things like that. So we just kind of gradually start small, and each year we just kind of build on that. And typically we'll have like a fall festival, which did really, really well for us last year. But of course, with this year, we're not doing that. But we still are doing the corn stalks and the pumpkins and stuff like that. And that seems to still do really well for us in that category. And then we were gonna just say something about the local. We do like teas that are local, honey, We do some Spokane, and we do Bruttles. That's in Spokane. It's kind of like what they have at the Davenport. It's a soft brittle, and we've had that for quite some time, and that's done really well for us. And then we even went into, last year we went into the dried salmon from a company over on the coast, which that did okay, but I don't think we'll do it this year. And we've done peanuts. So I mean, we try little things like that and just kind of build on that. And then of course we still do have the Aspen cider. We do that, and we do packets of hot chocolate as well. So I mean, we are still going to continue that this year as well. So that's just a little tidbit there.
Good.
I think with garden giftware, you've got to use your reps to help you to find out what has been consistent sellers. And I mean, if I look at what we've purchased in the past, we do a lot of Sun wall art. I mean, we had a joke about wall art. I mean, what was that, like 5 years ago? Everybody was complaining about that we can trade each other how many we had on the wall. But right now, I mean, there are certain products within that garden gift that are consistent sellers from year to year to year, that probably your sales rep is what's going to help you on that to get started on it, to where you can show, like Tim said, show other people's displays so that you can add it to your product line, and that it's not a drain on the money system. I enjoy it just because of the fact that it's summer sales that garden gift really moves in, and it's because they finally got everything planted and they're like going, well, now I need something to decorate with. So I think that's where a lot of businesses that don't emphasize in garden gift needs to emphasize it then, because that June time, July time is when they're buying that product. My thoughts on that.
Oh, good. Okay. Anyone else? Well, we've been on the phone for about 45 minutes. It was a good start. What do you think, Tim?
I think it was great. I learned a lot, and I know that a lot of people shared, and that was fantastic. So this is great.
Yeah. And as me and Tim were talking before we started, I did record this, our very first one, and we're going to try to figure out how to get this up on our website. And as we talked earlier, we're going to talk about maybe getting some vendors to do some product knowledge classes with Zoom, and as well getting those on our website. So hopefully we'll get this figured out, and we'll see you at the next one. I think I have it for November 11th. So, you know, it was great to hear everyone, see a few of you, and hopefully we'll see you guys back again and some other people.
And our topic for November 11th is?
I don't know. I forget.
Oh, well, I don't have it up in front of me because when the power went out, my computer shut off, and I don't have it turned back on. So anyway, but so to be announced.
To be announced, and I'll be sending emails. You know you love emails from me guys. So yeah, so if anyone doesn't have anything else to say, I say we're going to close this first one up, and we appreciate everyone coming, and we'll hope to see you back again in a month. All right?
All right.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
All right. Thank you. See you all later.
All right. Bye-bye.